So we're back again with Joanne. Joanne, it's so lovely to have you again. We always enjoy having a chat, and this time we're going to be talking about SPLUMA in town, which is different to SPLUMA on the farms. Joanne, just generally again, the SPLUMA, is it easier or harder than getting a SPLUMA in town as opposed to a farm?
We definitely get the most issues in town with properties in town, and that's predominantly with encroachments. When one property or the boundary wall encroaches onto either the municipal servitude or on the building line or onto the neighbouring property. So that's our biggest.
I know we've just had a SPLUMA issue with a wall where somebody's wall had been built on the wrong boundary, and they literally had to break that wall down and rebuild it. Are those the kind of issues that one can expect?
Exactly that. Although that's not the only solution, you know, you can enter into an agreement with the municipality in terms of the encroachment, if it's municipal land you've encroached on. So you don't necessarily have to demolish. There are sometimes other options. Not always, but it's worth exploring.
One of the options that I do know about is that you can apply for a relaxation, or they can offer you an opportunity to purchase a portion of land. So those are very costly, but I think these are what you would need to weigh up as opposed to breaking down.
As opposed to breaking down, you would look at the cost of demolishing, and then you would look at the cost of potentially registering an encroachment servitude, and your land surveyor costs and all of that goes in with it, and conveyancing, and then make a decision based on what it would cost you and what you would gain.
Yes, and things like carports, what is considered a fixture, or what would be included in your SPLUMA? If it's a freestanding carport in front of your garage, or if it's a carport attached to your garage, what is the difference?
So what the municipality looks at is aerial photos.
Okay.
So if it's a Wendy house or a carport, it comes up as a structure.
Oh.
So what you can arrange with the municipality is a site inspection. Often they are understaffed, so they'll accept photographs of what you've done and what it is, and whether they will accept it. It's not a permanent structure, but I'm not 100% certain of what their exact criteria is in terms of.
So one can ask the municipality to come out. So if they pick up there's a SPLUMA issue because of a roof that they see, you can actually say to them, look, it's not a permanent structure, come and have a look, which might actually get you your SPLUMA. So it's worth going to do that.
It's worth inquiring. It's worth even taking photos and emailing it through and seeing if that won't be sufficient.
That's very good advice.
Yeah.
And then, just general SPLUMA issues. I don't know, what are the most common ones that you find? Are they mostly boundaries?
Mostly boundaries, yes. And then sometimes if they've extended the house and they haven't registered new building plans.
Okay,
they haven't,
so that is a SPLUMA issue. Your building plans are very necessary.
Well, they are, in the sense of from a buyer's perspective, you'd want building plans. But in terms of issuing the SPLUMA, the municipality doesn't look at building plans. They don't require them.
So they just want to see your floor area and your outer walls, so that the floor space and the boundary walls all equal up.
Yes.
They don't need to see all the inside bits. Okay.
Those ones that have been picked up where there's been an extension is because they can tell from the floor area that something has been done.
All right. So what do you suggest again with SPLUMA? Applying for SPLUMA beforehand, or waiting for the process to?
Well, with residential, you can apply when you've got a signed sale agreement.
Okay.
Unless when you start marketing, if you think there might be an issue, there might be a problem, I would advise getting it beforehand, knowing what you're dealing with.
Yes.
And at least start the process of rectifying it, negotiating with the municipality, trying to come up with a solution before it comes to having
that
sale
obviously
agreement in front of you.
is going to affect your purchaser. So
Yes.
can a purchaser pull out of an agreement even if it's not stated that if the SPLUMA is not right and they don't want to take it on or they don't want to wait, are they able to withdraw?
Well, that would depend on the problem. Like, you won't be able to transfer the property into their name without a SPLUMA.
Yes.
So if the seller doesn't rectify what needs to be rectified, that sale can't go through anyway.
Okay.
And if the buyer isn't going to agree to whatever the municipality requires, then the transfer won't go through.
And I have heard that you can make an agreement with the purchaser, the seller can make an agreement with the purchaser that if there's a wall to be fixed or changed, that there can be a period after sale,
yes,
by which it must be completed.
That's often done to just avoid any major delays. So what the buyer would then do, he doesn't enter into an agreement with the seller, he actually enters into an agreement with the municipality.
Oh, okay.
So the municipality will give 12 months for him to rectify it in whichever way he chooses to, or whichever way the municipality requires it to be rectified. Okay. If it's demolition or if it's to move the wall or anything, whatever municipality is asked for, really. Okay. And they have 12 months then to rectify it.
And then we would just generally for both the farms and for town, how long is your SPLUMA certificate? If you had to apply for it ahead of time, how long will it last?
A certificate will last you 120 days.
Okay, and then you have to reapply. So if you apply for your SPLUMA before you sell, you want to be sure that you're going to be able to sell within the 120 days if it has been given to you.
Yes, but you can always apply for an extended SPLUMA, and then it's not as expensive. I think the application fee for an extended SPLUMA is about 570 odd, and it takes a couple of days to get it.
Oh, so that's actually, it is a good thing,
and then
that will also last 120 days.
Yes.
Okay, so that is a good solution then. If you do it ahead of time, you know you can extend it again for another 120 days.
So it's not a train smash if it expires. It is an easy fix.
Okay, great. Any other information that you'd like to share with us?
SPLUMA, residential, I think I've got encroachments in my head because that's what we deal with
all the time,
constantly, and that's generally always the issue. The one extra thing that's not so easy to fix is if your property is encroached on a municipal road reserve or a nature reserve, which we've dealt with. They can't agree to an encroachment servitude on because it's not their land, it's public land. So that's a bit trickier to get around. It's a slightly different agreement you enter into, and it won't hold for the next sale. So that new purchaser would need to enter into an agreement with the municipality again. So it's not something that is fixed permanently. So those are the tough ones. So you would need to carry that over. The buyer would then need to agree to carry that over.
So what happens if your neighbour, your house is fine, but your neighbour, when they come to doing the certificate and they see the neighbour is encroached onto your property, who then is responsible for the encroachment by the neighbour?
Well, you would think it was the neighbour would then be the one being penalised. But if you're trying to sell your property and your neighbour has encroached on yours, you won't be given a SPLUMA certificate unless that has been resolved.
Oh my word, so that's quite a...
Yeah, we've dealt with that
So you
before.
hope that you don't have that one.
You hope you don't have that one, and if you do, you hope you have a very cooperative neighbour.
Okay, Joanne, thank you so much. We appreciate the information, and yes, just keep following me on YouTube for more information on things around real estate, the sales and the selling of properties, and I look forward to chatting again.